In English, the word love handles a massive amount of variety. We use it to describe our feelings for a slice of pizza, a favorite movie, or a spouse. It functions as a broad, often passive emotion. But when the biblical authors described the character of God, they required a concept with much more specific weight. They used the ancient Hebrew word Hesed. It is a concept so conceptually dense that major academic commentaries often refuse to translate it into English at all. They simply treat it as an un-Englishable loanword. When English Bibles do attempt a translation, the results are fragmented. Depending on the context, you will see it rendered as loving-kindness, mercy, steadfast love, or loyalty. Treating Hesed as a mere feeling or vague emotion misses the actual logic of the text. These fragmented approximations are the individual components of a specific driving force that underpins God's actions throughout the biblical record. To understand how this works, we have to look at the three-part equation that defines it. Hesed requires an internal emotion, like compassion, that triggers a physical action of intervention, all bound together by a strict covenant commitment. The defining metric is that Hesed cannot exist as a feeling alone. It mandates physical intervention. It is love in action. To see this abstract physics in motion, we can examine a 3,000-year-old song. Psalm 136 uses this exact word 26 times. This text functions as a historical roadmap. It argues that this specific type of committed intervention is the mechanical reason for the existence and the survival of the universe. The first section of the psalm focuses on creation. It identifies God's Hesed as the foundational motive for making the cosmos, physically constructing a space where a relationship could actually exist. The scale then drops from the stars to human history, moving to the Israelites' enslavement in Egypt and their cornered position at the edge of the Red Sea. Here, Hesed is described as an intense physical intervention. It ruptures the natural order to violently rescue the oppressed from sure destruction. In this narrative, Hesed does not allow God to merely feel pity from a distance. It acts as the necessary catalyst for historical deliverance. The third phase of the psalm enters the desert. This is a wasteland defined by weeping, weakness, and the impossibility of surviving without external help. Hesed operates here through preservation, actively providing guidance and sustaining the weak to ensure a people were not wiped out during decades of wandering. This psalm uses a specific pedagogical design. After every massive event, the stars, the sea, the desert, it repeats a single litany 26 times, for his Hesed endures forever. This makes Hesed the unchanging, underlying drumbeat that propels every major action in the story. To understand the motive behind these actions, we have to look at God's self-disclosure in Exodus 34. This is where God defined his own name and character to Moses on the heights of Sinai. When listing his defining attributes, God does not begin with his infinite power or knowledge. He identifies himself as a God who is abounding in Hesed. This revelation carries a specific logical weight. If God's nature is unchangeable, a quality the text calls his immutability, then this definition of Hesed is not a temporary mood. It is a permanent disclosure of intent. This intent appears again in the famous reassurance of Psalm 23:6, that God's goodness and Hesed will follow us all the days of our lives. There is a profound irony in the Hebrew. The word translated as follow is radaf, meaning to pursue or chase down. This isn't passive love. Hesed is an aggressive, relentless force that actively hunts the recipient down to do them good. This relentless pursuit reframes the viewer's world. In the biblical tradition, once a person is the recipient of this kind of intervention, they are expected to mirror it, moving from being the ones chased by Hesed to becoming the ones who extend that same loyal intervention to the vulnerable.